Section 1 MLOps Introduction. In this video, we will learn the concept of MLOps, as well as MLOps lifecycle. As a precursor before learning MLOps, first we have to understand the meaning of Devops. And Devops is a word of two words, developer and operations. What it means is that as a role of developer and operator at the same time. And what we are seeing right now is a huge picture of a typical DevOps lifecycle. It typically started as a test or a build section. And eventually it will move to release. That's where you will succeed to test your software and release it. And to release it, you have to deploy it to a particular environment. For example, you have to deploy it into your cloud or an on-prem services. Followed by, you have to operate it, as in keep on the running of the machines to run the code. And while you're running it, you have to monitor it. You have to monitor the metrics, you have to monitor the performance, and you monitor your infrastructure. And it followed by planning on how to improve it. And as you improve it, you have to get back to the code and change some of the improvement and maybe re-architecturing it, or maybe adding new components for it. And once after that, you move to build and come back to the test. So the lifecycle of DevOps is typically listed as the picture. It is also considered as an agile lifecycle of DevOps. Let's get to MLOps. The definition of MLOps is like what, as we know, machine learning and operation, ML and ops. It is typically an intersection of two different people role, which is data scientist and DevOps. The role of data scientist and DevOps are both totally different in role, but then it requires a person to handle the understanding of business logic and the field logic, who can help and deploy and accelerate the flow of moving the model to production. It's also regarded as a superhero of ML and deployment. And don't keep my words on this one, because this is a general term, and till now, the definition of MLOps still changing. What we are seeing here is an MLOps lifecycle, like what we see in previous picture of DevOps. Keep that in mind, what we are seeing here has ML and development and operation as the core pillar. Like what we mentioned in DevOps, it starts as one node and then move into the next one. So let's get to the ML part. It starts with the model. That's where you will start creating it and maybe verify and providing the data on testing the model itself. As you confirm with the model, which is the machine learning has succeeded to test the code and verify and validate it, you move to the development part. That's where you start to plan to release and packaging it. And then as you move past unpacking it, you will have to deploy it into the running instances and monitor it. So that's where you will move to operation side. And you start to configure the machine and monitor the performance and as well as the infrastructure. And it doesn't stop there. You have to still constantly monitor and improve the system. Because MLOps is not a static deployment where once you have the basic deployment pipeline, you're set. And it constantly changes. It's due to there are more people coming in that will have to get into the data set or improving particular component of the pipeline itself. As a result, the whole agile workflow is on these three pillars. As a summary of this video, we have learned that data scientist and DevOps role has created the field of MLOps. The lifecycle of MLOps is based on three main pillars, which is machine learning, developer, and operations. The next video, we are going to look into model as a first-class citizen.